Thanks to those joining me live and to those that'll be joining me and G Funky on Archive, tuning in to another edition of Hispanics Cause and Panic. This is, of course, a June 24th edition. Who's down with HCP? Everybody. What's going on, G Funky?
What's going on, D-Style? Thanks for having me on, man. It's G-Funk coming to you live and direct from the 916, baby. What's going on?
That's right. I'm here in the 915 where it's hotter and drier. Okay. And here in Texas, okay, we got we're about to beat everybody with the most COVID cases. And then California comes from behind, bro, today to break the record. I don't know where California love with the COVID anyway.
Man, it's getting ugly out here, man. I got a feeling we're looking at another shutdown soon, man. But I don't know, man. It's getting crazy.
Man, is that something? Make sure you guys throw a jab at the like button if you're listening on Archive right now. Make sure the like button does turn blue. Share this video on your social media platforms. We're live right now on YouTube as always, but we're also live on Facebook as well. So welcome to anybody watching there. It's a new Facebook page. So that's that. A seen and unseen on here. Damn, I knew I should have been on Franco, he says. Chicano Prophet says, what's up, fellas? And shout out to everybody listening on demand on the Leave It in the Ring network. And by the way, speaking of Leave It in the Ring, go to the channel, Leave It in the Ring YouTube channel, subscribe, hit the notification button. That way you're notified. And that whole nine, all right? Check it out, man. Right out of the gate, a little birdie told me that he bet $400 on Franco. He bet that money with a little over 2-to-1 odds, and he made his moolah, his narrow. What's going on?
Yeah, man. You know, I had another one of those gut feelings like I had last week. You know, I was thinking, man, Franco, man, these are some good odds, you know. So I went ahead and dropped a little bit of money and got myself a nice chunk of change in return, man. So shout out to Franco, man. Good looking out for your boy, man. I appreciate it.
I like how G Funk said a little bit of money, like $400. You know what I mean? Like, ain't nothing. That ain't nothing, bro. You know what I mean? You know why he bet? I know why he bet. He wanted to buy more fertilizer for the lawn, bro. Okay, that's what it was.
Oh, I need
like
fertilizer.
The fertilizer was on the line. He's like, I really need to get this grass green. Like,
that's
right.
So
I'm gonna put everything I invested on the grass. I'm gonna put it on the line right now. Is that what it was, G Funky? Now,
absolutely.
Squirrel wants to know. All right, if you're gonna go buy some wood now, so you can make that little bench.
Well, now that I got a little coin in my gene, you know, I'll go ahead and place an order, man. So it should be up in hopefully, I don't know, man, how long it takes to get here, but, you know, it should be up soon, man.
You know, Beeb hasn't done betting the odds with Beeb for a while. Maybe we should start doing betting the odds with Chief Funky's gut. You know what I mean? Start winning some money or something.
Hey, when you got a gut like this, man, you got to go with it, man. This gut doesn't lie, all right?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, man. If that's true, you would have known the Kings were never going to beat the Lakers. And I'm sure you always had that gut feeling. You know what I mean? But with that said, guys,
I'm still sick over that, man.
You're tuning into Hispanics Cause and Panic. Do not go anywhere. Press the like button. Eat what's in on here. It says G Funky Dragon Style. Salute, fam, and the whole chat. What's going on with you? If you're on Facebook listening, make sure you you press the like button on Facebook as well. All right, and share the Facebook page and the whole nine. All right, whole nine. We're gonna start off with a big story here, G Funky. Franco, big win, defeats Moloney. Moloney was the guy getting hyped up, man. Franco was the guy that they borrowed from Golden Boy Promotions to fight Moloney. All right, but he got beat, bro. Well, what you make of that fight, man?
Well, like I said, I had a gut feeling that Franco was going to pull off the upset. I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that Moloney was, coming all the way from Australia over here to the United States. His first time on national TV, big exposure. You know, you got to think nerves are going to come in to play with something like that. You know, even though he's been fighting, you know, he's been professional now for a little bit. It's different when you're on this kind of stage, you know, and especially being so far away from home too. So, you know, that was a big part of me, you know, picking Franco to win. But you know, I got to give credit where credit is due. All right. I got caught up in some stuff yesterday, man. Now I know, man, Tuesdays a little bit hard sometimes to sit down and make time to watch fights. You know what I'm saying? So I had to make a run back to Home Depot. I had to return some stuff. You know, I'm trying to make a long story short here, man, but they were understaffed. The line was crazy long. I got stuck there. So I listened to my man, D-Style Boxing, call the entire fight, man. And I had all this money on the line. I didn't even get a chance to see it with my own two eyes. I was listening to this guy right here call the fight. And hey, let me just say, man, he did a beautiful job, man. He really did. Really painted a picture really well for me, man, because I was stressing a little bit. You know, early on it wasn't sounding too good. But when I got home and I rewatched it, I like what I saw from Franco, man. Early on, it looked like Moloney was trying to, you know, put a lot of hands out there and try to overwhelm this guy early on. He was catching Franco with some shots early. But one thing I noticed in Franco is man, he is just really calm under that kind of pressure. You know, he didn't look worried, not at all to me, man. He was just right there. He was like, okay, he's coming out quick. I'm just gonna sit here. I'm gonna take my time. Continue to put pressure on this dude. Continue to come forward. And I noticed, man, at least mid rounds. I want to say rounds 7, 8. Moloney started to slow down to me, man, and it looked like he almost had that look of like, man, I hit this kid with some good shots, and he's not slowing down. He keeps coming forward. That does a lot to you, man. We see it often, man. And like you were saying when you was calling the fight, pressure bust pipes, man. And the pressure just kept coming. It kept coming, and you seen it, man. And Franco dominated those championship rounds. Rounds 10, 11, 12, absolutely dominated them. He knocked him down with a beautiful combination. Ended with a nice left hook, snapped his head back in the 11th round. But credit to Moloney, man. He took it, came back, and finished the fight. But man, he got dominated those championship rounds, and I'm just glad that the judges gave the decision to the right guy, man, because Franco earned that win. I was thinking, man, are they going to rob him? Or are they going to, you know, pull some stuff? Because you could kind of tell that ESPN. They were looking for any little thing to start cheering and getting the pom-poms out from Moloney, man. I don't know if that was what you guys were feeling, but I was feeling that when I was listening to their broadcast. You know, they were just looking for any little thing to get excited for with Moloney. But turns out, you know, the young kid Franco came out and he's the new WBA champion, and congratulations to him and also to Moloney. You know, he came over, like I said, far away from home. He came over. And, you know, hey, he came up short this time, but, you know, he could always bounce back. But, hey, I feel good about this one, man, because it won me some money, too. So shout out to you, Franco. Thanks for hooking your boy up, man. I appreciate that.
Franco out of the Garcia Gym, by the way, Robert Garcia, yet another world champion. You see him there, man. Look at that. Look at him celebrate. Dreams do come true. I remember before the fight started, you know, I try to tell people, I mean, just think about everything. Think about where Franco's at right now. The bell that's about to ring is the most important bell of his life. Shout out to Rene Box Young, by the way, and the perfection on here. What's going on, guys? But just imagine, man, since he started boxing, all the miles he's ran, all the punches he's thrown and taken, all the sparring, all the amateur fights, the professional fights, all the negotiations, the mental stress, all those things, the lead up to a championship fight. When you have all these fights leading up to it, they're all must wins for a lot of these guys early in their career. Because you lose a fight early on, sometimes they don't even give you a second look. No, he did have some losses early, but he learned from them. And here he is, his first opportunity at a title shot. And boy, did he grab the bull by the horns. You know what I mean? And early on, it did look like Moloney might just box himself to some boring decision, but Franco did not let up. Kept pressuring him. Good jab to the body, was throwing nice hooks to the body. Moloney was throwing good left hooks to the body too. But, Franco was being some phenomenal shape, man, because he took those shots and he kept coming. He was not deterred at all. Early on, I thought there was something wrong with his right hand, G-Funk. I was like, what's going on with this dude's right hand? And then out of nowhere, around round 7, boom, it comes. He gets it out of the holster and he starts landing it. Big left hook later in the fight that caused a knockdown. That was a turning point. I was nervous before they rendered the decision. Not just because G-Funk had bet a bunch of money on Franco, but because you want the right guy to win. And I always get nervous, G-Funky. Always. According to 2 judges, this would have been a draw if it wasn't for the knockdown. What do you make of that, G-Funk?
I think that's BS, man. I thought it was a pretty clear-cut decision for Franco, and not just because I put a bunch of money on it, but I felt like he deserved to win the fight. And like you said, man, he showed championship class in this fight. Now, I want to tell a quick story here, man. I remember, I'm a big NBA fan, as you can see. I got my Kings jersey on, I got my Kings hat on. But I want to tell a quick story about something that stuck out to me here. I remember back in 95 when the Orlando Magic played the Houston Rockets, and they were a young team, not a lot of experience, but they were talented. They made it all the way to the NBA Finals, and they're playing against the defending champion Rockets. Now, they jumped out game 1. The Magic jumped out. They were up 20-something points on the Rockets. And the Rockets ended up coming back and winning that game in overtime, ended up sweeping them the rest of the series. But I remember a young Shaquille O'Neal saying this about that Houston Rockets team. He said, man, I remember when we went up 20, we were all excited, happy. We thought we were going to just blow them out. He goes, I looked over at the Houston side. He goes, them dudes had no change in expression, no fear in their eyes, nothing. They were just like, all right, it's still early. We can come back. That's exactly what I saw with Franco. Because it looked like, you said, it looked like Moloney was going to come out and just dance his way to a quick, boring decision. But he remained calm. He said, all right, look, I might be down. I might have given away a few early rounds here, but guess what? I'm coming. I'm coming for it. I'm hungry. I'm determined. I want this thing. And he did it, man. And I always love seeing things like that. And you're right, man. I always get nervous, man, when these type of fights go to decision, because you just want the right guy to win, man. It pisses me off when guys don't get the win when I feel like they deserve it. I felt like he deserved this one, and I'm glad he got the victory, man. Shout out to him, man.
Joshua Franco, new world champion. And I got to tell you, let me just tell you guys, he's going to be around for a while. You know what I mean? And anytime you watch Joshua Franco fight and he's down early in the fight, you just remember you got to put him out because he ain't going nowhere, right? And that's why he's the Hispanic causing panic of the week, all right? A good type of Hispanic causing panic, not the Ryan Garcia type. You know what I mean? Like, but what's up to Nopa Boxianos on here? And shout out to Seen and Unseen Boxing for your membership. I appreciate the support. Mel Lester on here. What's going on, bro? How's it going? Anybody on Facebook? Shout out to you guys as well. Check it out. That is that for that fight. Adorno. We have done a prospect watch on him, G Funky. I was excited to watch him fight, but he doesn't make the weight, bro. He misses weight.
Is that what happened? I missed what happened, man.
Well, he had issues with the scale. They say he had rehydration issues, but nonetheless, they stopped second time now having issues with the scale. So is it time? Second time now, he's young. You know what I mean? Is it time for him to move up?
I would say so. If this is already a second time happening, man, you know, I seen something about the Adorno fight not happening on the TV screen, but then I had, like I said, I had to run out and go take care of some things, but I didn't get a chance to hear what had happened. But I was disappointed. I'm like, damn, we're not going to get to see blessed hands, man. I was looking forward to that, you know, because like you said, we did the prospect watch. I really like the kid, man. But yeah, if he's having trouble making weight, then it's time to just go on ahead and shoot up to the next division, man. This way, you don't have to worry about these things, and we can get to see you more often. You know.
It's time to move up, I think. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, this is too many times, and I don't know. What's strange to me is this, right? The whole point of doing the weigh-ins the day before the fight is to avoid this stuff. Okay, so supposedly we were told we're doing this the day before weigh-in, so guys don't dehydrate themselves too much. Okay, and they could have enough time to rehydrate or whatever. That's why supposedly we do it the day before. Guys are doing it anyway. This is insane. And I'm seeing this again. I mean, you see it with Tank Davis, Neri, and now Adorno. And so these are, pretty two high profile names. And this is a prospect here. Is it just me, Chief Funky? Are we having more issues with this, with the scale than we ever have that I remember? Is it just because we're in a social media age and we're paying attention to every weigh-in? Maybe we didn't before or something, but I don't know. But it seems like it's happening more now than ever.
Yeah, you're right. I don't recall, man. All through my teenage years and like early 20s, like hearing a lot about guys missing weight too often. Like it was a rare thing to hear that somebody missed weight and that the fight had to be canceled, or somebody had to be stripped, or something like that, or they had to pay a fine. It is becoming a more frequent thing nowadays. It could be. I mean, that's a great point, man. I never thought about that. It could be because of social media and everything is out there for us to see nowadays. But man, I don't like it, man. I think guys just, I mean, if you're gonna try to shrink yourself down to a weight class, then you got to be disciplined, man. You got to really live a certain type of lifestyle. If not, then you know what? Just fight around your natural weight. This way, you don't got to kill yourself
No.
in the gym. And this way, I personally think guys should just do that, man. Instead of trying to squeeze down 2-3 divisions where you shouldn't be, fight where you're close to your natural weight. This way, I mean, of course, you're gonna have to cut a few pounds, maybe 8-10 pounds, and then you could focus more on just the fight and strategy. You'll fight better. You'll feel better. I mean, so that's what I would do, man. If I was in these guys' situations, but they got managers, they got whoever around to tell them to you should fight here, fight there. So it is what it is, man. But I think they should just fight more around their natural weight, and this type of stuff wouldn't happen.
Right. I mean, I agree with you. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. You know what I mean? But I just just move up, man. You know what I mean? Like we're already getting fights canceled by COVID. Okay. We don't need fights being canceled because someone's not having issues with the scale, whether it's not making weight, whatever it is. Okay. Chief Funky, did you watch that whole Ging guy? The heavyweight?
Was that the first fight of the night? Is that what you said?
Yes.
I did not watch it, but I seen what was there, and I was like, well, we got another one. So I did not actually sit down and watch it, but it looked like, again, somebody steel was out there fighting at a cookout. So I wasn't really glued to the TV screen,
I don't get it. Like what? I could only imagine how many people just switched the channel after they saw that. I just got to be honest. All right. We had some great fights after that. We did. We had Christopher Diaz, beat Jason, Sanchez, pretty good fight. I enjoyed that fight. Pretty decent fight. And so, I enjoyed watching that fight. But This Holguin guy looked he looked worse than the guys from last week, bro. I mean, this guy. I mean, what is this? I wasn't sure if he was getting ready for a boxing fight or an eating contest, bro. What is this? A hot dog eating contest? The hot dog eating contest have skinny Asians, right? And boxing has fat Mexicans, apparently. Should it be the other way around? I swear to God, like dudes that look like Neri are dominating big fat dudes and eating hot dogs. I don't know what's going on there. Okay, not like Neri, like that look like Inoue. But I'm trying to understand why the skinny dudes are dominating hot dog eating and boxers are now engaging when they're that big. Shouldn't it be the other way around?
Yeah, it's crazy, man. And you know, you're right. I mean, I could only imagine if I was a casual fan, I'm like, hey, there's live fights on, you know? Check it out. There's no other sports on right now. Turn it on, and I see something like this. I'm like, what in the world? Like, these guys are professional fighters? Like this is your job, bro. Like, you come out looking like that. I mean, I could see a lot of people just say, you know what? I'm not watching it. And just turn it right off, you know? Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a little bit weird for me to see so many out of shape guys. And again, this is something that we didn't see too often back in the day. I mean, there's a few guys that were a little pudgy, you know, heavyweights that were a little soft, you know, every now and then. And then, of course, we had, you know, Butterbing, who was a guy who was, you know, huge. But that was just one guy, you know? That's just one dude. Now, look, we have, I don't know how many fights we've had now with these guys looking like this.
I mean, the other guy could hardly fight. Okay, he looked like one of those big biker dudes. You know what I mean? I'm like, well, he should win. Well, no, apparently not. You know what I mean? So he gets outboxed by this Holguin dude. Look, I mean, no, look, God bless the guy. Okay, he's trying to make a living. Nothing against him. I just don't think it should be on TV, bro. All right. And then, like, I'm like, okay, well, if you know what I said last week. If you look like that, I mean, you better like be good. You know? Why wasn't that good? And somebody, A-Rod, yes, Mike Tyson come out and knock that dude out, bro. All right? And I'm not even, I think Mike Tyson comes out and knocks out Holguin. All right? I don't know. Well, what is it? Is this whole, like, well, Andy Ruiz became world champion, so, hey, did there's a market for this all of a sudden?
Maybe, man. I was just going to say that,
fat
dude.
Guys, let the fans be the fat guys, okay? Eating potato chips and all that. Let us do that while we spend money watching you, okay? You get in shape, all right? What is this? What's going on, G-Funky?
I don't know, man. It's a part of the job description. I mean, right or wrong, to train and to get in shape to fight. I mean, I can tell you this, man. If I did my job every day, as bad as it looks like these guys do their job, as far as training goes, like I'd be out of work, dude. Like I would not have a house to live in.
Out of work.
You know? I mean, that's just the honest truth, man. And I'm not trying to be harsh on the guy. I mean, like I'm not the most in shape guy, but you know what? I can guarantee you this. If it was my job to be in shape, I'd be an in shape motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like there'd be no excuses.
100, bro. Look, man, Helaman Holguin, not Holguin, but I don't know, man. I guarantee you, a lot of people change the channel when they saw that. I can bet you anything. I'll bet you the $400 you won last night, G-Funky.
Well, it was a little bit more than that, but you know what? That's a good bet. I'm pretty sure a lot of people just said, you know what? Forget this, dude. I'm not watching this guy. Like, what this? And the fight wasn't even that good. You know, like I mean, I was in and out. You know, busy doing something, looking back and forth. I'm like, this is not even worth watching. That's why I went to the store, and you know, I got stuck there. I should have never left, but you know, that was the reason why I went to the store. Because I'm like, look at this. Like, this is crazy. Like, I don't want to see these guys fight. But
well, what about you? What about you? You're not in shape.
You're right.
Well, I'm not a professional boxer.
Yep, exactly.
Okay? That's not my job. You got one job. Look at this dude. That's him. This is what Top Rank put. All right? Old gain, bro. Dude, he's like batting 500, bro. He's not even that good of a fighter, bro. I'm sorry, bro. We got Aram over here bragging. It's because I think it's fascinating to put guys that wouldn't really make it on TV before. I mean, what's going on here? Like Chicano Prophet says Arreola was fat too. Maybe it comes with territory when it comes to Mexican heavyweights. Arreola could box, though. He could fight, bro. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people shit on Arreola, but the dude could fight.
Yeah. Same for Ruiz too. He's he's a very accomplished amateur, and you could just see the skills in him. Now, again, he doesn't have the best looking body, but you could just see that the guy knows what he's doing when he gets in there.
His arms are defined. He's got defined arms, at least. You know what I mean? What does this guy got? This guy literally looks, bro. Okay? Like he's... He doesn't look like he works at McDonald's. It looks like he ate McDonald's, bro. Okay? It's just crazy, bro. I swear to God, Brad, I could picture that dude, okay, spinning the pizza in the air, man, getting the dough, the shit, preparing that shit for you. That dude can make a mean pizza, bro. Pizza supreme, the whole nine. You'll enjoy that. He looks like he owns a pizza place, like a pizzeria or something.
It literally looks like they just found some random guy on the street and was like, "Hey, man, you want to make $2,000? Put on some gloves and some boxing trunks, and there we go."
Hector, hey, it's a chingon. This guy knocks fuckers out at the club, bro. You gotta go fight. Top Rank. You know what I mean? Like, what's going on over here, bro? Yeah, Arreola was never this bad. I'll tell you that right now. And look, I remember at times where Arreola was bad to us. Like, dude, get in shape, and you know what I mean. But like compared to this guy, you could make a statue of Arreola as the epitome of in shape compared to this guy. He owns a taco truck. He does look like those dudes that own a taco truck with like with a wife beater and stuff.
And the cooking apron over the wife beater.
Yeah. Like some grease on there and shit. Like
he's got mole stains all over it, you know.
Hey, ¿qué quiere? Dos tacos. ¿De qué? Barbacoa. ¿Qué lo quiere? This dude looks like an expert in that shit. Right? And as bad as he looks, this dude couldn't beat him, bro. This biker-looking dude. Look at this dude. He looks like one of those Hell's Angels and shit. I thought these dudes were tough, bro. What's going on?
Supposed to be tough, I guess, but maybe they just can't fight, you know? There's a difference between being tough and being able to fight, man.
What's going on over here, bro? What is this, bro?
This is bad for sure, man. It's bad. No
Dude,
doubt about
I honestly think, honest to God, bro, I'm not even joking. I think you could get some Marines right now, right? Put them in the ring with these fuckers. They might beat them, bro. Okay? You know, like in the Army and the Marine, they do boxing and stuff like that. I think some of those dudes could beat these guys.
Probably.
I see some bitter fight. They used to put them on ESPN, right, where the military guys would fight each other, and they look better than these guys, bro. And no, I'm not joking. I don't understand why this was the opening. Like, here you are, ESPN, Top Rank. You're trying to get viewers, and this is the fight you started us off with. You start out by saying, oh, the Adorno fight got canceled, guys. Not to worry, though. We got a perfect fight for you. How many guys turned on the TV and said, is that Adorno? Is that the dude they've been hyping up? And I heard about this Adorno dude that it was pretty good and the Spanish caused panic. Is that him?
Oh, man.
His nickname is The Dream. He has a dream that one day he will come in shape or something. I don't know what. Okay? But dude's got to lose some weight, bro. And he's got to get in better shape, man. I'm sorry. I'm going to be that guy.
Looked like he was sweating out manteca, you know, just Oh man, that's crazy. I don't want to see no more of these fights, man. Unless
Like
these
that
guys
dude
can
don't
really
look like
go.
he don't look like Areola. He looks like he ate Areola. Okay, he looks like Areola. He ate Areola. All right, but anyway, that's Holguin versus the biker dude. It's whatever to me, right? Um, you want to see Holguin against Andy Ruiz? She fuck.
Well, if we want to see a good knockout, yeah. I mean, I think Ruiz
Oh,
puts this
Holguin
dude.
knocks him out.
This dude
Pop.
put. I think Ruiz puts this guy out pretty quickly. Um, but no, that's not something that I would I would want to see it, you know. But it would be entertaining because I know he'd get knocked out. It'd be pretty funny to see,
Yo,
you know.
like
But
if Top Rank's gonna do this, bro, A-Rod, he wants to know if Top Rank's hiring, bro, side money. Okay, like he'll duke it out with somebody for $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 shit.
dude, I would fight that dude for $5,000. Like zero fucking training. I'll get in there and fight this guy for $5,000.
Well, he didn't train. Why should
Yeah.
he train?
I
What's
ain't
going
got
on
to
over
train.
here, bro?
He ain't training. I ain't training. Shit.
I
Just give
swear
him
to God,
money.
bro. I swear to God, you can get you can get, bro. I swear to God, dude, you can get some firemen that could probably go in there, okay, that just work out, hitting the heavy bag, and it'll probably like compete with these guys. Okay, it's just crazy, bro. Right? But with that said, Chief Funky, Saturday night, bro, Chirino Sanchez with a great knockout of Pina. He got a great knockout, bro. Let me while I pull it up here. Did you have a chance to watch it? I'm going to play it here anyway, but did you get a chance to watch that knockout?
Oh, I did. That was a beautiful little left uppercut that he landed on that dude. By far, the best knockout since boxing has been back. Right there.
Yeah.
Real nice and short. And those are the best punches, man, because you generate the most power out of those real short shots like that, man. Landed flush right on the chin, and dude went to bed, man. That was a thing of beauty.
Absolutely. It was a thing of beauty, man. He gets the knockout, as you can see right there. And he hits a body shot right there. Hit him with the left of the body. Comes in, bam, upstairs with a nice 45. It's basically like an uppercut, kind of sideways this way. Beautiful punch. I mean, did his thing. Can't hate, right? That's the video I have up, by the way. Pushes him off, gets a body shot, backs up, comes back in, but he lowers his elbow, I guess, to block another body shot as he motioned, but instead of going for the body shot, he went upstairs with that 45 upstairs, and he got the knockout. Great setup. As I said in that video, knockouts in boxing are set up. They don't just happen. You have to set them up. And he set that up beautifully. That was the highlight of the weekend for me because I decided, G Funky, to give MMA a shot again with that UFC main event. All I saw were dudes in bicycle shorts rolling around, okay? That's all they were doing. We're rolling around, okay? And one dude was on top of another dude, and he's got him from behind. He's got his back, and they're switching positions. It wasn't my thing. I just gotta say.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of that UFC also, and it was just not
It's
very
just not my
entertaining
thing.
for me, man. Yeah, I mean,
Someone told me they had like this fight of the year candidate before that. I missed that, so I go from that. So I'm disappointed with MMA. And then the boxing fights are okay. There was a really sloppy, like, flyweight fight. It was really, really sloppy. And I'm like, okay, whatever. But then Sanchez, I mean, he woke me up. I was like falling asleep. He woke me up with a knockout. Beautiful shot. Just the visual doesn't do it justice. You got to listen to that shot. All right. With no crowd there, too, by the way. That's the one good thing about no crowd. You can hear the shots, bro. Okay. And you hear the pop. And the dude just goes, he's knocked out on his way down. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful stuff. Yeah. The ref didn't even count. Like, that's it.
I think it was the ground that woke him up. He got hit with that little short left. he's out on his way down, and then boom, he hits, and the ground wakes him up, man. But like you said, man, you hear more of the impact because, again, no fans. But man, I really like it, man. Like, I'm really starting to like it because it's starting to remind me of when I was walking into the gyms, and you hear guys sparring, you hear the trainers yelling instructions and things like that. It just brings back a lot of good memories for me. I know, obviously not a lot of people train like that, but for someone like me that's walked into gyms and has heard things like that, brings back some good memories, man. I like it, man.
It's not. Let me tell you something. I have complaints, and we're going to talk about that. I have complaints about Top Rank and some of the things they're doing with the cards. I have some praise, but no crowd is not like a thing. It's not. It has nothing to do with what I'm going to criticize them for. Nothing. Like, it doesn't even matter to me. Once we got a fight, like Franco versus Moloney, it didn't even matter to me that there was no crowd. It honestly didn't matter. I didn't need the crowd. You know what I mean? But I'll tell you what, man. That was a hell of a knockout. So shout out to him. And of course, Navarrete, bro. Let me tell you something, bro. He fought a dude that was batting 500, bro. How about that? How about that, Chief Funky? You know, if you bat 500 in the MLB, that's really, really good. You know that, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
That's right. So what's up with that, Chief Funky? He's batting 500. Well, what is it to criticize? 13
really?
13. Throw him in there with Navarrete. Like, what's Emmanuel Navarrete? What? Let me say this. He wants to contact Bob Arum, by the way. He wants to get in there too. They're giving $2,000 a pop to go in there and just spar. Shit. You know what I mean? But anyway, Navarrete. Did you see what I saw? I mean, this was him in the first round, right? I'm not even playing.
Yep.
Just go like that. Should I end the fight now? Nah, I need to put in some rounds. Like, what is that, bro? Like, the other guy's like trying. Now it's just like he's just throwing punches to make sure nobody told him he's not doing anything. All right. I got people on Twitter talking about how, he gave Navarrete a good fight. Like, what? What fight do you guys watch, bro? He was obviously carrying the guy.
Yes.
He was carrying him.
Bro,
he hurt him to the body later in the fight. 2 minutes left. Doesn't finish it. What's going on? He gets up and he's like, what's going on, G Funky? Why is he carrying this dude? Why is Top Rank putting on this fight? Like, why are they wasting my time?
Yeah, that was terrible, man. You know, I watched the first couple rounds of that fight in my living room on my couch, but like, I gotta be honest, that thing was putting me to sleep. I had to watch the rest of that thing in my bed because I was getting ready to fall asleep, man. Like, Navarrete looked like he was fighting like he didn't want to mess up his hair or something like that. You know, like he's like, I'm out here, I don't want to mess up my hair or anything, so I'm just gonna, throw a light jab, throw some light combos at this dude. Like, it's obvious he was carrying the guy. It's obvious that I don't know. I'm just assuming this. I don't have any solid proof to back this up, but they probably told him, look, let's go out here, get some rounds in, all right, and then you can put the guy away. The other dude was trying. I mean, not to give him any shit. He was trying, but you could tell Navarrete was just like, he didn't look too thrilled, didn't look too excited, which is unfortunate, man. I'm not saying he needs to be in there with one of the top guys, but let's get him in there with somebody that could at least get him up for the fight, And he is a slow starter, but that was like, I don't even know what you call that. That was worse than a slow start. It was bad, man. Like I said, I was falling asleep watching it, and I had to watch the rest in my bed because I was getting ready to. That was like my NyQuil for the night, right there. As soon as it was over, I just turned it off and went to sleep.
Just, moving around the ring, and then like it's like something will hit him. Like, oh, you got to throw a punch. Like, dude, like, what are you doing, bro? Like, and he's still beating the guy up, which is the funny part. Okay. And then he just, once he starts the last 2 rounds, he picks it up and he puts the guy away. You know what I mean? I just don't know, like, who are you trying to put on a show for? There's no crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like, what like you're trying to put in rounds, I guess.
Get
But
some
come
work
on.
in.
But now, look, this is probably the worst one of all, by the way. This one's the worst. But there's been other ones, bro, like the Shakur Stevenson fight, the Burchell fight coming up. These guys are just outmatched, bro.
Showcase fights, man. That's always been Top Rank style, man. I gotta say, I was disappointed in this card from Mexico City. The only thing that saved it for me was that beautiful knockout. But one thing I gotta say, this is a little off topic, but I was impressed with the way that Mexico City was handling or doing their precautions in their bubble down there. They were, a lot better than we're doing here. I'm just gonna throw it out there, man. From what I've seen, I mean, look at that cameraman in the back. I mean, the dude looks like he's got a hazmat suit on. And they're like spraying dudes down with disinfectant and cleaning off their shoes before they walk in there. Like, hey, they're doing their thing down there, man. They're taking it serious,
Well, Top Rank takes an hour to clean the ring, bro, between matches. So, what's up with that? One-sided massacre, Cecina and Cecina. Yeah, man, I don't understand. They're putting in these prospects in tougher matches than their champions.
Yep.
What is this, bro? And we're going to talk about them, but on Thursday, last week, we had Clay Collard. Cassius Clay Collard, get it?
Yeah.
But, he defeated David Kaminsky in their contest, a third straight prospect he beats. But they're putting him in the ring with tougher dudes than these champions. What's going on?
They sure are, man. From what Bernardo Osuna said, his opponents or his last 6 opponents, something like that, they got a pretty good combined win-loss record. So they're throwing this dude in there tough. I don't know why they can't give us a bone with the main events. It's getting pretty crazy, man. But that's Top Rank style, man.
Right. What you make of Clay Collard, G Funky? I mean, he's I did some research on him. He did do some amateur boxing. So he's not a stranger to boxing, right? But then, he took up MMA. He did that for a while. He was in the UFC for about 3 fights. I read up that he was scheduled for a fight or something, and then he got canceled, and he was never back again. So I don't know what happened. And then, he started boxing, and then supposedly he was going to have one more boxing fight. He had suffered a pretty, brutal knockout loss, and then he came back for a boxing fight, and supposedly it was going to be his last one. Then, he gets a big upset against Guajardo on PBC a couple months ago. Very dramatic 2-round fight for those that haven't seen it. And then, comes back, and this is actually a prospect from Golden Boy, bro. It's one of the Golden Boy fighters that was sent over there, Kaminsky, and, he got battered up. His face got rearranged. Very, what's the best word I could use? Unorthodox, right? Clay Collard, the way he fights in the ring.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. You could tell he's got like some sort of MMA background to him because, he comes in, he's got his hands up and he comes in, he throws, 2, 1, 2, 3s, and he comes in and holds, and then does a little dirty boxing. Like I noticed that a lot. If they're in the clinch, he'll try to throw little sneaky punches on the inside, and you always see that's what they call, right, dirty boxing or something like that in MMA. I remember back when I used to watch it pretty frequently, that's what they would call it. But you could just tell he's got that style of fighting. But hey, to his credit, man, look, he's doing his thing. I mean, he busted this dude up pretty good, man, and he's in there tough. It's not like they're throwing him a bunch of tomato cans. He's in there with some pretty decent competition, man. So hey, got to give credit where credit's due, man.
Absolutely, man. Got to give credit where credit is due. You guys are tuning in to the June 24th edition of Hispanics, Calls, and Panic. Did I lose connection there for a moment? It looks like I did, but am I good?
Yeah, we're good.
All right. Clay Collard, man, I do like the way he puts punches together. Very unorthodox. It's only a matter of time for someone clips him coming in. No one's quite gotten it yet, but it's only a matter of time. But I'll give him credit though. In his last fight, he got knocked down coming in by Adorno. And he even said, I have to work. I got to be a little more patient. I got to work on my timing. And when I heard guys, don't rush in too much, be more patient, etc. So credit to him. He's trying to improve and he's trying to do something out of this. You know what I mean? He's taking it serious. He got interviewed and he said, he just tries to outwill guys and tries to never show that he's hurt. How far can he go, G Funky? Just outwilling guys, because I don't think you need more than that. The higher level you go, you know what I mean. But you think you can make something out of this?
I mean, I think where he's at right now, the level of competition that they're throwing at him, you can get away with just saying, "Hey, I try not to show weakness, and I just try to outwill my opponent."
Yeah.
But when you're in there with a guy who's a master at his craft and knows what he's doing, can set traps, is not afraid to punch with you, things like that, he's going to run into some trouble. But if he's taking it serious, and he's trying to work on some of these things, then when you have that kind of will and determination, also with some skills to go with it, that's a pretty good combination. But he's not there as far as the full-on boxing skills yet. But that could be worked on, So it's really up to him and his team to get to that point. That he's got to put in the work, and he seems like he's a very determined guy. So it could work. This outwill guys at this level, but at the next level, I don't know, man. He's going to need more than just trying to outwill your opponent,
Yeah, because he admitted he was hurt by Kaminsky in the middle of that fight with a body shot, and he's like, well, I just didn't show him I was hurt. You know what I mean? But that ain't going to work all the time, bro. You know what I mean?
No.
But credit to him, though, because look, let me just say this. This might be a controversial statement. A lot of boxing fans are not going to like, maybe not, I don't know. But he's shown more heart to me. I'm not saying he's a better boxer. I'm not even saying he would beat him. But to me, he's shown more heart than a Victor Ortiz show. Victor Ortiz is a guy that had all the skills. If he was dominating, it was just good. You know what I mean? But give him some resistance, and he crumbled. You know what I mean? Like, give him some resistance, and he didn't want no more. Take him to a dark place he didn't want to be at. They give him some weird flashbacks or something. But
right.
But I'll tell you what, Calder's not scared to lose. He's not scared of getting knocked out or getting. He's been knocked out already, G-Funk, in a boxing fight. Mm-hmm. He's not scared of it. Like, it's just like he's like, I'm here to fight. I saw an interview of his last fight with Guajardo, and he said, the guys just jumped me. He kind of surprised. He just came at me right away. And he said, but I love that. I love that. I love to be in a slugfest. You know what I mean? So it's like whatever to him. And guys like that, especially against prospects who feel like the weight is on their shoulders and they got to win and all that pressure, he could make them fold, bro. You know what I mean? He could, like, that's a dangerous guy. If you are like a manager or something, do you put him in there in the ring with Collard if they only got 5 fights? Do you risk it?
No, I wouldn't. Maybe if my guy was around like anywhere between 10 to 15 fights and he's getting rid of guys the way he should be, I would consider it. But no, not a guy with 5 fights. No.
Wheelchair, man, John, what's going on? Also, John Lejuven on here as well. Shout out to you guys. Make sure you jab the like button. You're tuned into Hispanics Cause Panic. G-Funk, he was down with HCP.
Everybody.
That's right. Everybody. Check it out, guys. This Calder guy, man, I like these type of stories, man. But it is an underdog story. And he's not supposed to win these fights. And I got to be honest, I love it when the guy that's not supposed to win wins. All right? Like, I don't know if you guys will believe me or not, but you know how bad I was hoping Navarrete got hit with a Hail Mary, got knocked out? Anytime I see a mismatch, bro, I'm hoping the underdog knocks him the fuck out just for having the audacity. Like, oh, you took this here, you know, you don't want to take a risky fight because you might lose. Then you know what? I hope you fucking lose. You know what I mean? So, not saying that's the case here, but for him to keep winning these matches, and they're calling him, you know, upsets, but he's winning them pretty convincingly, in my opinion. What do you do if you're, you know, caught in Collard's team? Do you keep him here? Do you keep this little niche where you just fight prospects? Or do you start moving up the ladder? Well, what do you do, Chief Funky?
I mean, yeah, at some point, you're going to have to test the waters. When they get there, I don't know. That's, you know, it's a tough decision to make. Man, honestly, I don't think, from what I've seen the last couple times I've seen him fight, I don't think he's ready for that next step up. But, you know, it all depends on their team, man. I personally wouldn't do it. I would like to see a little more different things out of him than just, you know, bull rushing in, throwing combinations like that. Just trying to outwill guys. You know, he's already admitting to being hurt. You know, he's been knocked out. So, you know, if this is somebody that you want to, you know, shape into something, you know, maybe possibly get a world title shot, you know, I'd wait maybe a few more fights and see if I could see him clean some things up. But if not, man, he's going to have a tough time at the next level, I think, man, for sure.
Well, he might have a tough time getting prospects, you fuck. Right? What if they don't even put him in the ring with any prospects? You know, what are they like? Nah, like we don't got a prospect for you, but we got, you know, we got this 22-0 guy. You know what I mean? So, you know,
that might be a tough one for him, man. Someone that's 22-0, that'd be a tough fight for him. But
right.
You know, he'd give, you know, he's the type of guy that, you know, he's not gonna quit. Like, you're gonna have to knock this dude out, I think, man. Mm-hmm. So any of these guys that are at that level, 20-0, 22-0, something like that, like, they're gonna be in for a fight. You know, he's gonna make it a dogfight if he can. It's their job to make it difficult on him, you know, right, to move around. Well, not necessarily move around, but, you know, like I said, give those angles, set traps, you know, make him miss, make him pay. Those it's their job to do that. He's there to just fight, you know. So if they're gonna get into a scrap with this dude, they're gonna have to be careful.
Well, that's the thing, bro. Like, he gets him into slugfest, bro.
Yeah.
They start trading with him. It's a 50-50 fight at that point. You're just trading.
Yep. Because anything could land in exchange. You know, that's why you see a lot of these guys that are at the very top of the sport, that are known to just boxers, you know, like, they don't get into those kind of slugfests, man. They don't allow that type of shit to happen, you know? So right, guys that are, again, like someone that's a 22-0 fighter, like, that would be my main focus in the whole entire training camp. Like, look, this guy, he wants to come, he wants to fight. Don't fight with him, okay? Don't exchange. Don't let him lure you into a fight. You know, you box this dude. But sometimes it's a tough thing, man. When you get hit in the face like that, it's tough, man. So that's the mental part of the sport, you know, is to stay calm and stick to the game plan.
Well, look, man, I think he's gonna have problems when he starts getting to the 8-rounders, 10-rounders. You know what I mean? Because he exerts a lot of energy, bro.
Yes.
Like, by the end of the 6th round, he's like used up all his energy. You know what I mean? He came out victorious, but man, it's gonna be interesting. You know, so we will see. Shout out to him, though. He's doing his thing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
He's doing his thing. He said a couple months ago, this is my last boxing fight. I don't think he believed he was going to win, because he kept talking about he's going back to MMA, and then he gets a knockout, then he's back. You know what I mean? It's like, well, okay, I want some more. You know what I mean? And he's getting the calls. They're calling him, bro. You know what I mean? He's getting the calls. He's getting his moolah. He's getting his money.
He's out there earning it. Yeah.
Look, I'm not here to speak for the guy. I'm actually trying to get him on the show, actually. But, you know, I don't know. It's probably a long shot, but in boxing, you don't have to pay that many people, bro. In MMA, you got to pay the MMA, the jiu-jitsu guy, the wrestling guy, the boxing guy, the gyms, and this and that and the third. And in boxing, you just pay a trainer, a cut man, third man, manager. That's it. And you're done. Simple as that. So I don't know, man. I think he takes home more money, in other words. And I think there's more money to be made. If not, why would he be doing boxing? Think about it.
Yes, to me, that's a fact. There's a lot more money in boxing than MMA, but that's a whole nother topic. I don't want to open that box up right now. But
that's right. Look, I don't care. Keep getting ripped off. Keep making less than boxers. Doesn't matter to me. All right. But with that said, Chief Funky. And I don't know, John just, I like this comment because it kind of segues us to this. He says, I don't know why people are mad about these fights. I would be fine seeing nursing home exhibitions at this point, he says. Look, man, we still have to assess the fights, though. You know what I mean? We still have, like, if they give us garbage fights, we got to call them garbage. You know what I mean?
Right.
If they give us something good,
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm glad boxing is back, and then we got live fights and we got new fights to talk about here on the show. But at the same time, like you said, if the fight is terrible, then we're gonna throw it in the trash, straight up.
Right. So here's what I want to do. It goes to everybody in the chat as well. Facebook, YouTube, archive. Let me know, guys. And I want you to give an honest assessment. Don't just give me just think about it a little bit. What grade do you give Top? I know John's going to give him an A+, but that's John, right? But what grade do you give Top Rank? Okay, in terms of the matches on paper, the way they played out, production, everything. Chief Funky, what grade would you give Top Rank right now, man? What grade do you give him?
Well, I would say, as far as the opponents, the matchups, the production, the sanitizing of the ring, and things like that. Overall, I probably have to say like a C. And we've had a couple of good fights. The last night's main event, good fight. Very good. Probably the best fight out of all the fights since we've been back. An upset. We've had another upset with the Plania pulls an upset in the main event on the other card. We've had some bad fights. I mean, like you said, the Shakur Stevenson matchup was bad. The Navarrete, that was a terrible matchup. We got another terrible matchup with our boy Miguel Burchelt Saturday night. So, the matchups aren't so good. The sanitizing of the ring, I mean, I think they could have planned that out a little bit better. Commentating, I mean, I always hate commentating anyway, so, but overall, I'll have to say C. I'd give them a C. Just to me, it's just average. It's just been average since it's been back. Got one good knockout out of all the cards. And, I don't know, man. Hopefully we can get something better coming up soon, man.
I don't have much issues with the actual production. I mean, they're doing what they can. COVID is going on. There's only so much they could do. So the fact that they're at home is not a big deal. If it was a different situation, probably. But, I understand why they're home. I have an issue with him having both Andre Ward and Timothy Bradley. I think they should split them. Have one on Tuesday, one on Thursday, is, in my opinion. I don't understand why they have both of them on. You know what I mean? Like, it's you don't need two experts on at the same time. And then sometimes it feels like they're both trying to beat each other for who gives the best possible take. And I think they try a little too much. Bradley's a little over the top. I like Ward better, his commentary, but overall it's okay. the fights are a mixed bag. Ironically, outside of last night's main event and the Greer Pina fight last week, aside from that, the main events have been a little underwhelming. I think a lot of it has to do because they've been mismatches. You know what I mean? But a lot of the mid card fights have actually been some of the best fights. A lot of the openers been good. The DeMarco fight was good. So it's a mixed bag. It's not all bad, but overall, on paper, have they given us the best possible? Do I walk away feeling like Top Rank gave me the best possible card they could have given me? No. I'm going to have to give them a C minus, G-Funky. C minus. Not quite a D, not an F. I know people giving them Fs and they're not even watching the cards. You know what I mean? But a lot of fights were Fs, but a lot of them were A's. You know what I mean? So, C minus sounds about right for me.
Yeah. It's been about average for me. And you know what? You're right, man. I think 4 guys commentating a fight, that's too many, and especially two analysts. Yeah, it's too much for me, man. But I don't know, man. I'm not much on commentating. I mean, they're always going to be over the top. They're always going to be a little bit biased towards their guys. And, a lot of the time, like, I don't even listen to what they have to say. Like the other day, we were watching the fights and, my wife was playing some music for her and my daughter. She's like, "Oh, do you mind if we listen?" I was like, "I don't need to listen to what they say." Like, it doesn't really bother me if I don't hear what they have to say, So as long as I can see it, I'm good, So yeah, I think you're right though, man. You got to lose one of those guys. One of them's got to not go for good, but I mean, at least like you said, split them up. Put Ward on Thursday, put Bradley on Tuesday or something. I don't know, but split them up.
Split them up, bro. You only need one person calling the fight, and another guy giving color commentary. Really,
yeah.
You know what I mean? That's all you need, bro. Like you don't need that many color commentators. You don't need that many experts on. It's just too much for me. Have one, between fights, give commentary, but just have one during the fights. I just feel like it's too much. And the other odd thing is, they're not even like next to each other. They're like at home. So sometimes like I could kind of sense that they're interrupting each other. I mean, it's not the best commentary, man. There's just too many people. So you got to fix that. But I do feel like slowly the cards are getting a little better outside of some exceptions. But outside of the opening bout, I was happy with last night's card for the most part. The main event was good. So shout out to Top Rank. They're working with Golden Boy. That's how they make that Franco fight happen. So they're open to work with other promoters, which is good.
That's kind of a shock too, man, knowing the history with Golden Boy and Top Rank, But hey, that's a positive thing. So we got to talk about that too,
Well, I mean, and it's not so much a shock for the last year and a half, 2 years though. I mean, they've been working together. The Hoya was from the Golden Boy side, to make the Shakur Stevenson fight, and there's some other fights where Golden Boy guy went to the Top Rank side and vice versa. It wasn't with Golden Boy, but Eddie Hearn worked with Top Rank to make Ramirez Hooker happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they are working together. Top Rank / ESPN worked with Fox Sports, / PBC to make the Tyson Fury Wilder fight. So to me, dude, like everyone was working with each other before this COVID thing happened.
Yeah.
Like when they say like, "Oh man, I can't believe it. It's going to rain," or something. Like the promoters started working together, bro. And then we didn't get rain, but we got a pandemic. Like the world was so shocked that boxing promoters are working together. We got a pandemic, bro.
Well, we got to hold them. We got to hold them to the standard now, because that's always the excuse is, well, this guy is for this promotion. This guy, but you know what? We've seen it happen before, man. So let's continue to push to get these guys to work together all the time and give us the fights that we want, man. Because there's a lot of big fights that could be made, and it's always the excuse, and I'm sick and tired of it, man.
Be funky. This is a June 24th edition of Hispanics Causing Panic. Shout out to everybody listening on Archive in the Leave It in the Ring network as well. There is a big comeback coming. You know what I mean? Oscar De La Hoya is talking about making a comeback, Chief Funky. And by no surprise, by the way, the Ring magazine is tweeting about it nonstop. I wonder why. And they're making polls about who would you like to see him come back and fight. And there's rumors of him fighting Maravilla Martinez. There's rumors of him fighting. What are the names that I see? Chavez Jr. Rumors of him fight. I forgot some of the other names, but if you step back for a moment and think about it, is there any fight that what about your boy Trinidad? They're old, they love handles, but they could come back and do it. You know what I mean?
Dude, I would pay pay-per-view money to see him fight Tito again, man, because he ran from Tito back in the day. All right, he was scared to get back in there. All right,
the hell, bro.
Shit, that boy was scared to death of Tito, man. That's why he was running the whole first fight.
Look, De La Hoya versus Tito debate. I just put on the notes for the end of the show, and that's going to be the poll. Okay,
let's do it.
But what would you like to see, Chief Funky? De La Hoya versus who? If he's going to come back, he's like, I'm watching Tyson. So if Tyson does good, I'm considering it. Okay, like he'll come back. What's going on, Chief Funky? What would I see him come back against?
Man, those are some good names, man. Maravilla Martinez, Chavez Jr. I think that would do.
It's the one-legged man versus the pantyhose man. You know what I mean? Let's do
it. The Chavez Jr. fight, I think, would do. I think that would, if we were living in a time where fans were allowed to come to fights, I think that would do some good numbers, man. Like, really, I do.
De La Hoya, Chavez, what weight though? Like, what weight are they gonna fight at?
That's the big question, because we know Chavez Jr. is a guy that could go anywhere. He'll sign to fight at this weight, and then they'll change it 3-4 times before the fight happens for him.
Not with the Golden Boy.
Not with Oscar. You better make your damn weight with Oscar.
You think Canelo was strict with the weight?
Yeah,
it was like 5 million every pound, motherfucker. That you go over.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
He gonna be fighting for free if he fights Oscar and they put a weight limit on him. But
look. He's 47 years old. I have a feeling Chavez would beat him, bro. You think Chavez beats him?
I think just based off youth and size, probably.
I mean, there's always a chance of winning the fight that then he just for no reason quits. But
I know.
I never seen that, by the way. He was beating Johnny Jacob, and then he just quit.
Yeah, he's doing good, and then all of a sudden, I'm done fighting, and then we got this.
He hit me with some good punches at the end of that round. I'm done. Well, it's a boxing fight,
like right. I mean, if you don't want to get hit, then you don't want to box. I mean,
Wheelchair Man John says Oscar versus Dana White.
He knocks Dana White out.
Boxing, no. Boxing.
And I'm going on record right now because there was a little beef going on Twitter last month. Oscar knocks out Conor McGregor in a boxing match. 47-year-old Oscar De La Hoya. All he's got to do is land one solid left hook, and McGregor's out of there. Calling it right now.
Dude, Conor McGregor got walked back by 147-pound Mayweather, bro.
Right.
When he was weighing like Conor was like a super middleweight in there. I don't know if people know this, by the way. Conor's fighting at welterweight right now in the UFC. That's basically that's 2 pounds over the super middleweight division. I want everybody to stop and think about that for a second. Mayweather's a fucking welterweight, bro, and he got walked down.
Mm-hmm.
Mayweather doesn't knock anybody out. Okay. But Boxing Dialogue just came in and made a pretty good statement. Oscar hasn't exactly taken the best care of himself since he retired. All that cocaine.
Mm-hmm.
Dude's been doing line after line after line, bro. He's been doing road work, but not the type of road work we're talking about. So maybe he just isn't made to box anymore, bro.
Yeah, he's been on a lot of booger sugar since he's been retired, that's for sure. But I think if we can get this guy to be serious, train. I mean, I have to admit, man, he's one of the, I mean, he's one of the best boxers I've ever seen fight, man. Oscar De La Hoya, when he was doing his thing in his prime, if he could just get anywhere close to that, I mean, I'm talking like a 70% of that at 47 years old, I think he can beat a Conor McGregor easy in a boxing match. Easy. I had dudes, I'm telling you, I had dudes calling me that day, like, McGregor, he's going to beat Oscar. I'm like, man, you guys, come on, really?
Look, man, there's three that I wouldn't mind. I got to be honest. The Trinidad rematch, because they're both old as shit. You know what I mean? They could fight like a 168, 170, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, probably 175. I don't know. What about a Vargas rematch?
Ooh.
Or maybe not Vargas. Maybe not Vargas. Mayorga.
I don't know if Mayorga's even fit to fight right now, but it would be entertaining. Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I mean, I would like to see him fight my boy Trinidad again because I was so disappointed that we didn't get a rematch to that 20 years ago. But this time, Oscar, you ain't gonna be in enough shape to be running around. All right.
Hey, mira, hey, Chifa, ese mi Chifa.
What's up, bro? How you doing, Mayorga?
Yo le gano, yo le voy a ganar, yo le gano de Hoya, ahorita, póngale el ring, ahorita.
Oscar, man, let me tell you something, man. Oscar's gonna beat you again, bro. All right, I just gotta be honest, man. All right.
That's right. That was Mayorga, guys. He made like a surprise appearance there. Chicano's all for the McGregor fight. And he's sold on that. That's what Chicano wants. He's ready to fork out money. Chicano's already giving Oscar his money. Look at him. He's already giving it to him, bro.
I want to see it.
Might as well just wire it to him now, you know?
Yeah, I want to see it just because I had guys talking so much crap about McGregor. I'm taking McGregor. I'm betting this. Dude right away want to bet me $50. I said, man, let's make it 100. That's how sure I am Oscar will knock this dude out, you know?
Yeah, I'm telling you, bro. What about the Maravilla Martinez fight?
That's a good fight, too, because, I mean, even though we know Martinez doesn't have his legs anymore, I mean, Oscar ain't got legs anymore either. So, you know, it'd be a good scrap, man, between the two. They're about the same size. Oscar's a little bit older, but hey, man, I think that's probably the best matchup out of all of them for Oscar. I think is a Sergio Martinez.
Yeah. What about? I saw some people saying this name. I don't know, but what about Gennady Golovkin against De La Hoya?
Wow. No, I don't think that would be a good fight for Oscar. I mean,
probably not.
No, I mean, Triple G is still an active guy.
We just gave Chicano probably a heart attack, bro, when we said that.
No, that would not be a good matchup for Oscar. And Oscar's only fought 2 times at 160, so no, I don't think that would be a good fight.
What about Felix Sturm?
Yeah, let's get that smoke back. You know, I felt like Sturm got robbed in that fight too. So, hey, let's do it.
Yeah, man. Don't put him in the ring with Golovkin. Don't do that.
No.
Right? Yeah, some people think because Golovkin looked shot in the last fight.
He slowed down a lot in the last few years.
Yeah, but not like De La Hoya a lot.
No. I mean, he was still competitive with Canelo, even though he was slowing down. So, no, that's not a good matchup for Oscar.
Not at all. What about? No, well,
Vargas would be a good rematch, but Vargas he's a little punchy. You know, I don't know if it would be good for his health.
I don't think Vargas should go back to boxing ring, bro.
No.
Yeah, just stay there. What about Miguel Cotto?
Ooh, that'd be a good matchup. Yeah, I would like to see that. I would take Oscar. I really would take Oscar.
You would take Oscar De La Hoya?
Yeah.
Right now?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I think the reach and the jab would give Cotto some trouble, man. I mean, Cotto, he looked bad against Saddam Ali in his last fight, man. He looked really bad. And he's been off now, what, a couple of years now? That fight.
By the way,
man,
I don't know what that was about because he didn't look that bad against Canelo.
I know.
That was strange, but I don't know. I still think he's good enough to beat De La Hoya at this point. De La Hoya's almost 50 years old, bro.
I don't know, man. I don't know. To me, he's always seemed like a guy that didn't like training too much. That's just my personal opinion on Cotto. He looked like a guy that was like one of them dudes that they had to like force to get out there and work hard all the time. So I can just only imagine what he's doing right now that he's retired.
Let me throw one more before we go to the next one here. What about Antonio Margarito?
Ooh, yeah. I take De La Hoya in that one too. I would take De La Hoya in that one.
You know why? Because of the eye.
Yep. That jab will shut the eye, man.
But he is almost 50 years old. Like it can't. You just can't escape that. You know what I mean? But hey, man, if he comes back, he comes back, and and that's that. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I would like to see him in there first if he does come back. Let's throw him a can. Find some dude. Walking around with a 13-13 record that like the guy who just fought Navarrete. And let's see how he does with somebody like that. If he still has that laser like
just do what Canelo was doing and just have dudes jump up 2-3 weight classes to fight you, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can fight a guy like that. Yeah, why not?
Like De La Hoya versus like Inoue's brother or something at 170 pounds, bro. And he might still lose. That's the crazy part. But yeah. Shout out to you guys. I don't have this on my list here, but did you hear about Katie Taylor and her fight with Amanda Serrano getting canceled? Right? They were supposed to have a big fight. The fight got canceled. Amanda claims that they tried to basically offer less money because there's not going to be a crowd or anything like that. And,
I did not hear about that. Man.
That fight got canceled. And Pursoon, who was on the undercard of that fight happened. If you remember, Pursoon fought Katie Taylor in the undercard of Ruiz Joshua. Okay. And many thought Pursoon won. She's saying, hey, I'll fight you. They haven't answered yet, but she's wanting to fight. So she wanted to update everybody on that one, man. But what do you think of that, man? Like fighters getting offered less money because there's no crowd, no gate. Where do you kind of side with that, G-Funky? Do you side with the fighters saying, hey, it doesn't mean I should make less? Or do you kind of see both sides? Like you can't expect to make as much money. There's no gate money.
Yeah, I see both sides for sure because, obviously guys fighters, I should say, want to get paid to do their job, and they deserve to get paid to do their job. But they also have to understand that we got a pandemic happening right now. There is no gate, so there's no extra money coming in from the fans like that. So, they're gonna have to expect to take some pay cuts, man. I mean, look, a lot of us in this country have had to deal with this, taking less money home and stuff like that because of this. So, I get both sides, man. I really do. But it's tough, man, because boxing is such a dangerous sport. You want to get paid for taking that risk, and it's hard to take pay cuts when you're taking these kind of risks, man. So I hear both sides for sure, man.
Yeah, make sure you guys throw a jab at my like button. So Wheelchair Man is asking, it's a hypothetical question. Ali versus Shields, are you excited about that or not? I mean, if it happens, I'll watch it. What do you think about that? Shields versus Layla Ali.
I'm watching it for sure. Definitely. We'll see how Layla Ali looks. She's been out of the ring for a while. But we know when she was in there, she was damn good. We know Shields is damn good. So I think it'd be a good fight, man. But I would favor the young one in that one.
Yo, Chief Funky, did you ever watch this guy, this police officer that challenged civilians to a fight?
I did not. I've been seeing that, but I didn't actually listen to the video. But I've been seeing it on like social media and stuff.
This police officer is in a weight room, by the way. Okay. and he's challenging civilians to a boxing fight. He said, he goes, yo, you guys saying that we're a bunch of chunks because we're hiding behind a gun and badge? Well, I'll put my gun and badge down if you put your cameras down. Okay, we sign a waiver, and then we get in the ring and duke it out. How about that? How many of you going to take my challenge? You know what I mean? Is that talking tough or what?
That is talking tough. Just because you got all those muscles like that doesn't mean you can fight. Doesn't mean you can take a punch. You know, I know it looks intimidating, but you know,
he probably benches like 400 pounds, bro.
Doesn't matter to me. You know, I tell you this, man. I tell you this. Okay, good.
It gets better. So he puts a challenge out. Look at it. Look how cocky he looks. He's saying, yo, you, are you going to fight me or what? So fighters like Devin Haney came out, as you'll see right here. Devin's like, I'll gladly welcome you to a beating. Some other fighters called him out. You know, some athletes like NBA players, football players were like, yo, I want that smoke. You know what I mean? Dude comes out. He's like, I didn't challenge all you guys to a fight. I said, if any clown wants to challenge me to a fight, are you guys admitting you're clowns?
Oh boy.
Yeah, so he started walking back, bro. He said, I cannot fight boxers that have a lot of experience. So he ruled that out. You know what I mean? He ruled out athletes. So apparently only like weak civilians could challenge him to a fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Guys, people that he thinks can't fight, and it's obvious, man. And to me, that just shows
I'll put Olguin in the ring with this guy. I think he'll knock him out, bro.
I think so too.
Hey, why don't they put him in top rank? By the way, they should put this dude in top rank card.
Yeah, throw him in there. It looks like he's in good shape. Hey, we'll give you a couple weeks. You know, hit the bag, hit the mitts, whatever you got to do. And we'll put you in there with the taco truck guy and see how he does.
It'll be funny if the taco guy is still like throwing punches, bro, and this guy's like out of breath and out of steam.
Yeah.
Because all those muscles, bro, when you're in a boxing fight, there's not enough oxygen there, bro. Like, you get stiff, you can't move no more. Like, dude, it's a recipe for disaster if you don't get the knockout in the first 2 rounds. You know what I mean? So
yeah, muscular guys like that, they don't make good boxers, that's for sure. At least in my experience, a lot of guys that walk into the gym when we were younger, they would look like that, and the first thing that the trainers would say is like, "Hey, man, you need to stop lifting weights. You know, and you need to come in here and start running. You know, do some road work, start hitting the bag and jumping rope, things like that." So yeah, I mean, this guy, it's obvious this guy can't fight. He only wants to fight a person that he thinks he can beat up. That's just a bully. That's exactly what a bully would do. You know, so
that doesn't quite prove his point about cops.
Nope, not at all.
What are you doing? That's not the best point to prove. Like, challenging civilians to a fight is not the best way to repair relationships with the public. Okay, at least not in my opinion. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Not in my opinion. So you guys are tuning in to the June 24th edition of Hispanics Causing Panic, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, every single Wednesday night. Thanks to those tuning in. Make sure you throw a jab at the like button. Shout out to everybody listening on the Leave It in the Ring Network on Archive. Check it out, man. There's rumors, G-Funky. Rumors of a fight, bro. Terrence Crawford, he needs an opponent bad. Okay. But there's rumors that the Ugas fight's going to happen. Ugas out of Cuba, he's been retweeting a lot of people congratulating him for getting the fight. Doesn't mean he got the fight, but, and he's already coming out saying he wants to be the first Cuban to win a championship at welterweight since, Napoles, Mantequilla Napoles. So he has a lot of riding here. He wants to fight for sure. Ugas Crawford, what are your thoughts on that, G-Funky?
Man, I like that fight. I think that's a good fight, and I think that's a good possibility that fight happens. If they're going to do one of these cross-promotional things, I think that he's definitely someone that they think that they could have a good fight against and get some good work out of. I like Ugas, man. I think he's good. we all know that those Cuban fighters, man, they're really, really skilled. They spend a lot of time in the schools down there in Cuba. They spend a lot of time in the amateur program. So these guys know how to box, man. That's one thing they know how to do is they know how to box. And I think that would be a real good matchup for a Terrence Crawford, considering he was in there with the Mean Machine and Amir Khan, recently.
Right.
So Ugas is a nice step up and a nice matchup for him at 147. Since he's been at 147, I would say this is probably the best opponent for him. So let's make this fight happen, man. I like it, man.
What if he wins? Who wins that fight, G Funky?
I'm going to go with Crawford. But I think it's a good fight, man. I really think Ugas could push him and give him some good work, man. I think it will be entertaining because we know Crawford is a guy, if you hit him, he's going to want to fight you. And to me, there's no doubt Ugas can touch him. He's to me, he's that good. He can hit Crawford and he can make it a really good fight. But I would still pick Terrence Crawford to win that thing. I just think Crawford is better. And I expect him to win if that fight happens. But, man, I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. Let's get it.
You like it. You like it. You like it. Man.
Mm-hmm.
But let me tell you something, man. Ugas just have a win over Crawford in the amateurs. Doesn't always mean everything, but there's that. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of a story behind there that they could tell. And Ugas, and I know you mentioned G Funky, the school of Cuban boxing and all that. Good point. But Ugas can also fight really good on the inside, which is a lot of Cuban boxers aren't the best at, right? So he could almost do it all. He's really strong for the weight as well.
Yes.
I remember, he just manhandled Figueroa in that ring. And it was like a shotgun versus a BB gun in that fight. A lot of people feel he should have won the Porter fight.
Yes.
And I still remember, G Funky. People were saying, Porter, he looked terrible against that Ugas guy. How's he going to possibly compete with Spence?
I remember hearing that too.
Well, he competed with Spence. Some people scored that fight for
Porter.
For him too. Right? Yeah. Some people scored. I scored for Spence personally. Right? But I had it 6 rounds apiece, bro. The knockdown was the difference.
Yeah.
All right. So I think that puts in perspective a little bit about Ugas. This is a tough fight for Crawford, bro.
Definitely. And that's a good point that you made about him being able to fight on the inside. And a lot of the Cuban fighters, tend to not want to fight on the inside, but he can do it. And he was able to rumble in there with a Sean Porter. We know Sean Porter's a guy that likes to go in there and get real physical, get rough with you, and that had no effect on Ugas in the fight. He was like, okay, this is how you want to do it, then let's do it this way. So he's good, man. I really like him, but I just think Crawford's better. So I would roll with Crawford, but I think it's a really good fight, man. You get me all excited, dude, thinking about this one. This would be a hell of a fight to see.
Yeah, Ugas Crawford definitely be the best fight, in my opinion, that Crawford's had since being a welterweight. It'll be some Boxing Dialogue believes Ugas pulls off the upset, and Spence Crawford dies. Dies. Santiago Media, shout out to him. Got an interview with Franco, by the way. You guys can check out on his channel. So make sure you check that out before the fight. And it says Ugas did a hell of a job versus Porter. Absolutely he did.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And a lot of people, instead of saying, man, Porter fought a tough dude, and instead they clowned him instead. They said, he struggled with this Ugas guy. But I think the narrative's a little different now,
Yeah.
You can say. So, I look forward to that. I think Crawford wins, though. I think Crawford beats any welterweight right now. I think Crawford pulls it off, but it's a tough fight. Yes. Crawford by majority decision.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, I'm seeing something like that, too.
I could see it a draw on a judge's scorecard and then him winning 7 rounds to 5, 8 rounds to 4 on the other 2, something like that.
Yeah.
So because I could see Ugas winning a lot of rounds here. So you if you're PBC, G Funky, even though Ugas is the PBC guy, do you want Ugas to win?
Ooh.
Or would you rather Crawford win, even though he's with Top Rank, so you could make other fights with Crawford, like a Porter, like Crawford, a Spence Crawford, etc.
That's that's a tough question, man, because you could do some things with Ugas if he does pull off the upset. You could throw him in there with Spence, and then they could make some money off of that, and that's a in-house thing there. But we know that there's a lot more money with a Spence versus Crawford matchup, man. So I don't think they're necessarily rooting against their guy Ugas to win, but
right.
As far as business goes, you want that. You certainly want the Spence versus Crawford matchup in the future, for sure, man. But yeah, that's a tough one, man. For as far as promotion goes,
Yeah, absolutely. Look, man, shout out to everybody listening on Archive, on the Living in the Ring Network, those listening live on YouTube and Facebook. Shout out. Join my Facebook page, D-Style Boxing. Send a request there. I'll prove it, and you'll see a lot of D-Style Boxing posts there. You can also post your boxing content there as well. All right, so like a G-Funky wants to post his videos on the Facebook page, he can, for example. Okay, just no Kings highlights or nothing like that. Those posts will get eliminated and removed.
I know. Laker fans always afraid to see King stuff, man, but it's all good.
Well, it is what it is. I don't know why you'll be scared of somebody you always beat, but okay. With that said, Chief Funky, we'll see what happens. I know we still have the rumors of Pacquiao versus Crawford, and this whole rumor mill is annoying, bro. I just want to see a fight get set up. Another thing I wanted to ask you, man, about the challenge of COVID. I know earlier you mentioned that they did a good job in Mexico and stuff like that, but what do you think, man? Like, how do you think they're handling this? Like Top Rank, and you think they're setting a good precedent moving forward and stuff like that?
It's hard to say, man, because there's still so many unknowns when it comes to COVID. I feel like they're doing what they can. Trying to isolate everyone that's involved in the fight. I like to talk about the bubble. Everybody getting tested and they come in and they get quarantined, and they sanitize the ring, which to me is a little strange, because if people are getting tested, it comes back negative, then why do extra cleaning if everybody is clear, but they want to stay safe and like you said, set a precedent. So yeah, it's it's tough, man. I personally, I feel like what I saw in Mexico was they looked like they were taking it a lot more serious, because there was guys like I seen at the MGM for Top Rank. A lot of referees, they weren't wearing the masks. A lot of other people weren't. The only people that I seen in Mexico that weren't wearing was a dude that was the PA announcer and the guys calling the fight for the Mexican broadcast. But other than that, all the referees had them on. I mean, the cameraman, you saw what they were wearing. They were all covered up, and the trainers, not only did they have the mask, but they had like a face shield and stuff like that. So, I mean, it looked like they were taking it. To me, they were taking a lot more precautions than Top Rank is. But I feel like they're doing a decent job, though. Top Rank is here, but not the best, but they're doing a decent job.
Well, I mean, it's hard, like you said, it's hard to tell if they're doing the best or not. Just because, like you said, all these guys already tested negative, and they're doing all this cleaning and, like, even in Mexico City, bro, they're spraying these dudes down, but aren't they already negative? Like, what are we doing? Well, why are you spraying them down for then? Like, you don't
Yeah.
spray dudes down when they go to a 7-Eleven, you know. But then what is spraying them down going to do anyway? They're about to, like, literally have a boxing fight and breathe all over each other and bleed all over each other for the next freaking all the, not to gross anybody out, but all the blood and the snot and the saliva flying out of and all that. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, but we're gonna spray them down though. Like, that's gonna do anything? Because when they're inside, like, all that breathing and shit. I'm just saying. Shout out to Sontel. It says, why wear masks if everyone in the bubble tested clean? It's all for perception. I'm not against it, but we can clearly see people wearing the mask. Now, here's my thing, bro. The mask covers, it's a good, like, percentage, about 10% or so of your breathing, right? If a ref's in there, and a lot of these refs are just not in the best shape, okay? And they're moving around and all this stuff. They're gonna we're gonna have a ref pass out or some shit, dude. All right, in the middle of a damn fight. Shout out to Neon Eye, says, good evening to D-Style. What's going on? Wheelchair Man John says, being limited socially does suck. However, we have to deal with it. Absolutely. Check it out. If I agree with the whole, it's all for perception. Even the dude cleaning the ropes and all that, bro. Like, they're panning the camera and they're showing the dude's back, and it has a phone number to the business that's doing the cleaning, and it's a little too, like, obvious, but it's whatever. But I gotta say, man, could you imagine trying to set up a big event? Like, we just talked about it. Crawford, Ugas, right?
Yeah.
Imagine promoting that whole event, and here comes the fight, guys. And we are in the week of the fight. They did the weigh-in. They had a face-off. They're talking smack, Chief Funky. I want you guys to picture this. Well, close your eyes and think about this. They push each other. I mean, it's real. They wear the mask. By the way, they wear the mask in the face-off. They're about to fight. Yeah. But anyway, they did the face-off, everything. Then you wake up in the morning, Chief Funky. You go to Twitter, and you see articles. Oh, a member of Crawford's team tested positive. So we're going to have to postpone the fight. Oh, he's asymptomatic, but you know what? We got to postpone the fight, though.
Yeah, that's...
I mean, how could he possibly... It's hard to even get amped up about any fight. Because he could get canceled literally the morning of the fight. Because it's happened already.
Yeah, we've seen it already, yeah.
Neon Eye says, I won't say what I think. No, you got to say what you think. You got to tell us. It's a rule. Yeah, but well, go ahead, you fuck.
Yeah, we've seen that a couple times now where a fight has already been postponed because, a manager, somebody's, or a member of somebody's team, pop dirty, and then they have to cancel that fight and stuff like that. I mean, it's frustrating, man. The times that we're living in, I'm reading all these articles now where I live here in California. The numbers are shooting up again. I don't know, man. I got a feeling we're headed for another lockdown. I just got that gut feeling it's going to happen again. I hope not. I just feel like people are just putting their guard down too much, man, and that's why these cases are rising again. So
just imagine how devastated. I want you to think about this, you funky. How devastated would Chicano Prophet be if Canelo Alvarez was scheduled to fight like another Liam or something? You know what I mean? like some other mismatch, some shit, or any fight. And in the morning of the fight, it turns out Reynoso tested positive, so they got to reschedule the whole event. How devastated would Chicano Prophet be? You know what I mean? Like, could you just imagine, bro? We'll have to like make sure he's still alive, bro. He loses his mind, bro.
Yeah.
Like I think Chief Funky will get that Canelo Power T-shirt and ship it out to Chicano Prophet, bro. Make him feel better. To wipe his tears.
Yeah, I think I might have to, man. The way that these guys love Canelo, and the fight, fighting another Liam, Lamb, whatever they are. That would absolutely suck, man. If we had a big fight, like you said, and something like that happens. Testing's got to get better too. They're already saying that the tests, they're not as accurate as it should be in some places or whatever. So, but now there's more testing available for people. So that's another reason why they're saying there's so many more cases. But, I just hope we get this under control, man, so we can get back to normal. Man, I will be so pissed off, man, if we got all the way to the weigh-in, like you said, the weigh-in the day before, and then boom, all of a sudden, somebody comes up dirty, and then the fight has to be canceled. Man, that would just be
what's crazy,
terrible.
bro, is that it doesn't even have to be the fighter, bro. Anybody in the team test positive, like they just postpone the whole fight. That's crazy to me. Just tell that dude to stay home. What do you mean? Well, why do they have to postpone the whole event?
Yeah.
But I guess that's why, to answer your question, that's why they do all that protocol even after they tested them, because from the last time they got tested to when they go to the ring, they could have caught it. You know what I mean? So that's why they take all those precautions. But, Chicano Prophet says, wow, Chief, I let you get away with saying Vargas is more dangerous than Triple G. And this is how you do me. Yeah. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one, Chief Funky. I don't know where you got that one from, to be honest with you.
I'm here for you, Chicano Prophet. You need a hug, bro? I'm here, man. All right.
Yo, Chief Funky thinks that Jesse Vargas is more dangerous than Triple G.
For a Mikey Garcia, yeah. For a small guy like Garcia, yeah, I think so.
Everybody knew Garcia was going to win, bro. Come on. He knew he was going to win.
I mean, I knew he was going to win, but, Vargas is a big guy. He's a big welterweight. He can punch, too, man. We know he can. Look, he heard Brown was knocked Bradley out in their fight.
Vargas is like the Kings, bro. Like, every time he tries to make it to the finals, he doesn't quite get there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well then, I don't know, man. I still think that it's more dangerous. To me, Triple G is just, he was fading. He's getting old. Look at him now. He's a shell of himself out there.
All these Sacramento King shots, none of the Sacramento dudes are here. Remember last week? They were like, oh, Sacramento in the house. I don't know where they're at, bro. I think they got tired of my Sacramento King jokes. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, maybe.
They're out of here. But shout out to Joe Lopez 40 ounce, by the way, says he'll be scheduled to fight Liam Sanchez. There you go. Let's talk about this fight, bro, because I've had enough of Chief Funky spreading his propaganda and his revisionist history about the Tito Trinidad versus De La Hoya fight. First of all, explain yourself. Explain to me why you're such a big Tito, fan. Well, why are you a fan of Tito, Chief Funky? When you grew up in a Mexican household, what's going on with you? What's the matter with you?
And let me tell you, man, I took hell for that. Just like I've been taking hell for the last 20-something years for being a Dallas Cowboy fan when everybody in my family is 49er fans. And we used to beat the Niners pretty regularly in the 90s, by the way. But now the thing that turned me on to Trinidad was this.
It wasn't regularly, but okay, go ahead.
Here's what I'll say, man. I did a video on that fight, the Trinidad versus Oscar fight, 20-year anniversary of it. So go to my channel and check it out if you haven't seen it yet. And I explained in there why I liked Trinidad. It was because, I just fell in this punching power. And not only that, he was always fighting on the undercards of my favorite fighter at the time, which was Chavez, Julio Cesar Chavez.
Right.
So I was able to watch both guys pretty regularly, and then he came into his own, dominated the welterweight division, never lost there, and he moved all the way up to middleweight, won a belt there. I like the way that I like the way that he throws his punches. He doesn't throw anything wide. He's nice and short and compact with his shots. To that left hook, and that left hook is a thing of beauty that Trinidad used to throw, and that's why I liked him, man. That's why I liked him. I see the hate already getting ready to come out.
I think the lawyer had a better hook, but we can talk about that. You know what I mean?
Okay, that's fine. Oscar had a great left hook too, man. Don't get me wrong. He had a great left hook.
Yeah. Well, look, Trinidad had a better hook to the body. Okay. But here's my thing, bro. Right? Here's my thing. First of all, how'd you score it? How did you? I'm not asking you to give me like a detailed round by round, but just in general, like more or less, like how did you score it? How many rounds for each guy?
I believe I had it 7 rounds to 5 originally when I first watched it. There's always predetermined notion about people when I talk to them about this fight, about Oscar clearly won the first 9 rounds of that fight. There's no way, that's just BS in my opinion. Just go back and watch the first 9 rounds. I guarantee you won't get every single round to Oscar. That's just not possible. And it's obvious that he lost all the championship rounds. He literally nothing. He just ran away from Tito. He was boxing more. I'm going to say he was boxing very good early in the fight, but then he decided to run. Where he literally just moved around and just trying to avoid the fight because he felt like he had the fight won. But he gave away too many rounds in my opinion, especially later on, and he did not win 9 straight rounds. Like that's just, to me, that's crazy, man. I don't believe that at all.
He won at least 7 of those first 9 rounds.
If you want to give him two rounds of Tito, that's understandable. I feel like he at least 4.
Here we go. Chicano Prophet with his HBO talking points. Okay, Oscar won, but he has himself to blame. What does that even mean? Okay. If I score 5 touchdowns and she fucking scores 3, okay, but I went prevent defense and he scored the 3 touchdowns at the very end of the game, you can't say, well, Tista's only himself to blame because he allowed G Funkin to score his 3 touchdowns at the end of the game. So I still outscored him. He was beating the shit out of Tito, bro. He was landing combinations. Okay, Tito's blood was all over those white trunks. By the way, all like just discoloring his trunks, bro. Right?
I've heard these arguments for 20 years, man. But let me tell you like this. I'm going to say this, man. When the fight first started, right, 20 years ago,
right hand, bro. The right hand of Oscar was landing too. Okay, Oscar's right hand was on point in this fight. Go ahead.
He boxed well early. Here's what I'm going to say. When the fight first started, ding, ding, round 1, right? Live 20 years ago, a 16-year-old G-Funk watching the fight, I'm watching, and I see Oscar moving, and then I remember this clearly. Larry Merchant says, De La Hoya moving immediately, right? And I'm thinking to myself, this is even better. This is even better because we all know, and I know this as a big Trinidad fan, Trinidad was very chinny early in fights. If you could clip him with something just minor, he could possibly go down. I was thinking, look, he's giving Trinidad a good opportunity here while he's moving. Because if he was to stay there, the way that he was punching and landing good combinations early, if he would have sat down on some of those shots, he might have dropped Tito early. And we wouldn't be having this conversation. But the guy decided to fight a different way. He stayed away from the
What does that have to do with him outboxing Trinidad, giving him a boxing lesson?
Oh,
right? Landing the jab, the pop, pop, pop. He was landing combinations on Tito, bro. Combinations. Pop, 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 pop. You know what I mean? Tito was just, his head was bouncing back and shit. He was bloody all over the place. Again, bro. Okay, like Oscar De La Hoya was like a master painter. Okay, and those trunks were his canvas, bro. All that blood, like I didn't see Oscar De La Hoya with a knot on the side of his fucking face, like I
Well,
saw Tito.
well, I'm looking right now, and I see this guy's eyes closed a little bit there in that picture. But here's what I will say:
Nah, it's not that
you
close,
guys,
bro.
you
It's a
guys,
little ass. It's a little cute little thing right there. Come on, bro.
you guys, tell me in the chat right now: is D
It,
Style
it, look-
doing?
it looks like a mosquito bite.
Hey,
Right?
is D Style doing his Jim Lampley impression right now? I think that's what I'm hearing right now. I hear pop, 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 pop. Look at Oscar's pop, pop, pop. Look,
No,
man.
no, no, whoa. What is
Here's the
bang,
thing, man.
bang? You know,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
You landed
Outclass, you
in the
big
ninth
word.
round. He won the first half of the ninth round. You could argue he won that round too. By the way, I'll rewatch round 9 with you again.
I'm gonna go back and watch it tonight for sure. That's always one of my favorite fights to go back
Oscar
and
De La
watch.
Hoya won that fight. Okay, I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what the Boricua say. I don't care what Puerto Rico says. I don't care what the honorary Puerto Rican G-Funk says. I don't care what any of these people say. He lost that fight. He knows he lost that fight, bro. That's why he
Nah.
started crying when they announced the verdict, bro. He couldn't believe it. He was in shock.
Hey, beat the Golden Boy, he beat the Golden Goose at the time, gave him his first L. Hey,
Nah, bro. Look, 92 Aku came on here and he said it, bro. Oscar won, bro.
Oscar didn't win
Never
nothing.
even agrees with me. And then now he's agreeing with me. That means it's true.
Here's what I'll say.
You're telling
Oscar
me
boxed well.
Go ahead.
Oscar boxed well early,
Okay.
but he didn't win. He didn't win the first nine rounds. He gave away the last 3. There's 4. I'm telling you, there's 4 rounds in there that you can give to Trinidad, and I gave him those rounds, and I felt he won the fight, man. But the thing is this:
If you're
why
generous, yeah.
Why didn't he want that smoke after? He didn't want that smoke again
Hey,
for some reason.
well, hold on. Who left the welterweight division immediately, like after that fight?
Hey, Oscar could have moved up.
Well, he did move up, but like, you know what I mean?
Hey, he never wanted that smoke again, man. There's a reason why, and there's a reason why he started running too. And it's because he didn't want none of that power. That's why.
Dude, he won that fight, bro. The one that should have wanted the rematch is your guy. What do you mean?
Hey, he was ready.
He fucking comes on here every week. Hey, man, if a guy should have won and most of the public thinks he won, you should give him a rematch. Well, I don't see that same energy for Trinidad. I don't see that same energy at all. Why?
I wanted it,
biased, bro. You are to Trinidad what Chicano province to Canelo, bro.
I wanted the rematch back in the day. I was screaming for the rematch. It just never happened. And that's if they fight right now, shit.
Hey, here's G-Funk. G-Funk has been on here for years. Canelo's got to rematch Lara immediately, right now, because everyone knows Lara won. But he doesn't demand that Trinidad, should have rematch De La Hoya. Come on, bro.
I tell you this. If YouTube was a thing 20 years ago and I was on here, you would be seeing me asking for it. I could get some of my family members to testify for me that I wanted that rematch. I wanted that smoke again. I wanted it again, man. I wanted that smoke again. I was ready for it, man. And I'm ready for it right now, 20 years later. And I'm still going for Tito.
The power of G-Funky compels you. All right, he's going to get people to testify for him. This is crazy. Dude's got witnesses, bro. I'm going to have a trial, okay? I'm going to cross-examine these people, G-Funky. Because you say you have witnesses.
Oh, I do. If I can get him on there, my boy, Mr. Pound for Pound, who used to do videos here on YouTube, he hasn't done them in a while. We did a lot of Canelo videos back in the early part of the decade. But he was a guy who was just like you. Thought Oscar dominated the fight. He dominated it. He won 9 straight rounds.
Sounds like a smart dude. Tell me I got the wrong co-host, I think.
Hey, man, I'm gonna tell you right now. He knows. I wanted that rematch. I was not ducking no smoke, none of that. Get back in there.
You tell me you didn't see those combinations and Oscar landed their right hand over and over again. I mean, Trinidad made Oscar De La Hoya look like he had an amazing right hand, by the way.
He boxed. He boxed very well, man. I'm not gonna take anything away from Oscar. He came in there. The movement was nice early on, but he decided to. And I hate saying this, man, but he just stopped fighting. He stopped fighting. I hate to use the word run because I just don't like using that word in boxing. But man, that was one of the closest things to running I've seen in boxing was what he did those last 3 rounds, man.
Well, first of all, let's say I grant you the last 3 rounds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fine. But you're telling me you don't think Oscar won 7 of the first 9 rounds? You don't think so?
No. I gave Oscar, here's what this is my memory now. I could be wrong, but I'm going to go back and watch it again tonight. But I believe I gave, out of those first 9, I gave Trinidad the first round. That was really a fill-out round. Nothing really exciting happened in that first round. I gave him the first round. I gave him round 4. And I believe I gave him round 7 and round 9 out of those first 9 rounds. And then the last 3, Oscar just gave away. He just stopped fighting. So
Boxing
that was my scorecard.
Well, Boxing Dialogue says Oscar in his book said it was his trainer that talked him to running the last 3 rounds. And Wheelchair says Trinidad only won round 4 in the beginning of the fight. Wheelchair says Chief Funky acting like George Foreman with Trinidad in the Trinidad community. And I agree with Joe Lopez and also Canelo Lara rewatch because they are in disagreement with that one too. All right. And Chief Funky D-Style should do a film study of the fight. I've already done the fight. I used to do film studies all the time. But I don't do them anymore because I had, YouTube got me, bro. I couldn't do live streams for about 4 or 5 months.
Man, I hate that, man.
So that's why I don't do those anymore. I used to go back with the old fights and, score them and stuff. With co-hosts and stuff. I did one with Joe Habib, with Doc, with Calix. I did some, with different people, some by myself. Look, man, the Trinidad De La Hoya fight, I just don't see anyone, bro, can give Trinidad 7 rounds in that fight. I don't see it. Let me flip it. You found 4 rounds in the first 9 rounds to give to Trinidad?
That first round, to me, it could be one of those. I don't like scoring even rounds. I can't stand scoring even rounds. But that was pretty close to an even round. Nothing really happened in that first round. I mean, obviously, anytime Oscar threw anything near Trinidad, the little girls and the women that paid money to see Oscar move around the ring like that were screaming at the top of their lungs. So that made it look like he did something. But that was one of those rounds that is just nothing really happens. It's just one of those fill out rounds. I gave it to Trinidad. And like I said, round 4, to me, round 4, 7, and 9, those are like no doubt about it rounds for Trinidad to me. No doubt about it.
Well, 4, 7, and 9. Chief Funky said it, guys.
And that's just off my memory.
I agree with round 4. 7 and 9. First thing I'm going to do is go rewatch those 2 rounds, and we're going to see. All right.
I could be wrong on the 7 because I haven't watched that fight in a while. It's just going off my memory. And G-Funk doesn't have the best memory. When you become a father, sometimes.
G-Funk is doing the Matrix now, bro. He's like slipping and dodging the point. Look at this.
There was, I think it was round 7 and round 9. But I'm going to go back and watch it tonight, and then we can talk about it again next week, man.
Let me tell you something, bro. At the end of the day, he shouldn't have won that fight, bro. All right. And then he ran from Oscar, okay? Dude kept running up in weight every time. Like he moved up to 154, right? And Oscar goes to 154, then he jumps to 160. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy, bro.
Yeah, he was knocking everybody out.
Oscar goes to 160, this dude retires. You know what I mean? Like what are we doing here?
Well, here's the thing. When you move up and you start knocking out champions like that, then you just keep going up. Like, look, Oscar was getting beat by lightweights, getting beat by Shane Mosley after that. So,
okay, whoa. Okay, now we're acting like Trinidad was going to beat Shane Mosley, right?
Hey, you know what? That's a fight I would love to see because, again, going back to my boy, Mr. Pound for Pound, he was a bigger Shane Mosley fan than he was an Oscar De La Hoya fan. And we debated about that fight for years. We still talk about it to this day. It never happened, but we still talk about it all the time, man. I still think I'm going to go for like I said, I'm a fanboy for Trinidad. I'll admit that. We'll never know, man. I think it would have been a good fight, though. Both guys. By the way,
how was it? When you saw Trinidad fight De La Hoya, Maybe you were too young when he fought Campas or something, but when he fought De La Hoya, Vargas, how was the family atmosphere there with you and like over here, like pumping up Trinidad and all that? Like what's?
Well, I got chased out of the house that I was in when we watched the Trinidad De La Hoya fight because I was literally the only one that was going for Trinidad. And everybody for sure, just like you, everybody for sure thought Oscar won. And when it went the other way, they all jumped on me. I got chased out of the house.
Are you sure you weren't just being petty, G Funky?
No, man. I'm sure, man. I'm sure he won that fight. And man, I wish we would have done it again.
When the bell rang, you were confident that they were going to announce him the winner. Is what you're telling me?
No, and the reason why is because again, Oscar was a guy who got a decision against Whitaker. I didn't think he should have won that fight. I don't think he should have won the fight against Corte. I felt like Corte won that fight. Both close fights, but I felt like those guys won that fight. So I was thinking, man, it goes 12. There's a good chance to give it to him,
So when it comes to Canelo and De La Hoya, you never give these guys the close fights, ever.
I feel like this, man.
They're like if you had scored the fights and just you, they would have been like 0-13 in all close fights.
Nah, because I gave Canelo the I scored the Daniel Jacobs fight for him. I felt he won that fight pretty clearly.
Well, yeah, you won that fight pretty clearly.
Yeah, but a lot of people feel that he robbed Jacobs. There's a lot of Canelo haters. I know I'm labeled as one, but a lot of Canelo haters will say he didn't beat Jacobs. I scored the second fight for Oscar with Shane Mosley. I scored him winning that fight. I thought he clearly won that fight.
I agree with that, but I'm talking about all the close, like debatable ones. Like for example, okay, like Canelo Trinidad, who won? I mean Canelo. I'm sorry, Canelo Lara. I'm sorry, who won that fight?
I thought Lara won that fight. Okay. I thought that was. I don't think that fight was close though.
Ah, come on, bro. It was a close fight.
I don't think that fight was close.
It was really close. I had Canelo winning, bro. 7 rounds to 5, bro.
I had it 8 rounds to 4, man.
That's one of the fights that I was able to do before YouTube took me down. And,
I remember watching that when you did that. I was there watching.
And you didn't learn nothing. Like you just like you're like, this guy don't know shit. You know what I mean?
I disagree on a few rounds that you scored for Canelo. I don't see it. I don't see how he could have won a couple of those rounds that you gave to him. I thought it was a clear decision for Lara for sure.
So okay, what about Trout Canelo?
I actually scored that fight a draw. I think I have to go back and watch my post fight on that. But I believe
have it a draw because Canelo knocked him down, so a draw is not possible. So if it's 6 rounds apiece, that would be Canelo winning.
I have to go back and watch the prediction. I haven't watched that actual fight in a long time. I think I've only watched it a couple times since it happened.
Trout put up a really, really good fight, but he didn't win that fight. I find it. I don't think he won that fight, but
I don't think he won it either. I didn't score him winning it. I think that fight is very close. If someone gives it to Canelo, like I'm not going to complain. The thing that I complained about was the open scoring. Like I think that really messed Trout up. I think that really messed him up because he knew he was losing every damn round when that wasn't reality. That was not the reality of the fight. So
De La Hoya versus Corte. Who won that fight in your opinion?
I thought Corte won it.
So I felt De La Hoya won that fight. It was really, really close.
Yes.
But I think De La Hoya won it in the last round.
I gave it to Corte by 1 point. I think the last time I scored. Close fight, man. Close fight, but Oscar got the benefit of the doubt from the judges.
I just don't think it was the benefit of the doubt. I think he won that fight.
I don't think he did, man. And that's another fight. I felt there should have been a rematch.
What about De La Hoya, Miguel Angel? Remember that fight?
Oh, yeah, Oscar.
Okay, because I remember a lot of my uncle swore Miguel Angel won because De La Hoya had a black eye, bro. Okay. Look at the face. Like, well, what do you mean? So what?
Nah,
You
I
know what
don't
I mean?
score faces. No.
So it's all good. A typical Trinidad fan. It is what it is. But it's
Oh,
all
hey,
good. Yeah.
I did pick Oscar to beat Vargas too. Me, my dad, and my grandfather were in a house full of family. We were the only three guys that thought he was going to win the fight. Everybody else thought that Vargas was going to beat the hell out of Oscar. They thought he was the bigger, stronger guy. I said Oscar's going to box this dude's ears off, man.
They probably felt really good after the first round.
Oh yeah,
and because that was Vargas' best round, probably. He had another good round in between. It was tight scoring wise, but you could see Oscar just picking him apart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was some. We don't send links on this show, bro. I don't know who you are, but shout out to you. You could subscribe if you want. G Funky, give us some final thoughts, bro, to close this one out. You guys make sure to give me a jab, man. Let's get to 20 likes by the end of the show. Give us some thoughts, G Funky.
Well, my final thoughts are this, man. Boxing is back. I'm happy. It hasn't been as the matchups haven't been as good as we would like, but I'll take it because I need my fix. Hopefully, we get some good fights coming up soon. I'm looking forward to Virgil Ortiz coming back, man. Can't wait to talk about that fight. And after the fight happens. But yeah, man, thanks for having me on. Thanks to the chat, everybody. Make sure you guys hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. And Trinidad won. Trinidad beat Oscar. Final thoughts.
Well, look at this guy. Shout out to everybody listening on the Leave It in the Ring network. This is D-Style Boxing. And what do we say, G Funky?
Keep it boxing.
Keep it boxing. We're out.